Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Was good?
Yeah, this segment is sponsored by Nectar Distribution. Make sure that you join the family. Sean got on the shirt. He's representing today. Make sure you go to nectardistro.com. Your opportunity for you to have your music delivered to over 200 plus digital outlets, courtesy of the Trackstarz family. Make sure that you go sign up today.
All right, here we go. The truth is in the building.
Sup?
How you doing? How you doing?
Feel good to be back.
Yeah, in studio, right?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, when was that? That was
The last time we
I
talked,
mean, it had to
was,
be pre-pandemic.
yeah, that's like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
pre-pandemic, but then we talked to you during the pandemic.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This
Much
right
better.
here is the sauce.
Yeah. No, this is our third week back. I think third, fourth,
yeah.
something like that. So we're still, getting used to everything. But this is big, man, for you to be here, man. We really appreciate it. You got a couple
excited.
of announcements. I feel like we're gonna get to one.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, so let's start with the one. You got an album coming.
Got an album coming. Yes.
Do we know the name?
Yes.
What's the name?
I can't give it to you until I do the announcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I think I know what it is. Yeah, I don't know what is a secret or not. So I'm gonna tiptoe through this. The truth. He sent us the album.
Yeah, that's no secret. I wanted y'all to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Send us the album.
Y'all are the first to hear it, by the way.
Yeah, like the
love
folder
that.
you get
Yeah.
when you're going through the process. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
raw. All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk through it, man. Like this is kind of going to be like our dissect segment where we kind of break down. People haven't heard it yet, but we're going to break down concepts and things like that as much as you want to get into.
Sure.
So where you want to start? I don't know the order because the folder was just
No,
out.
it's no order. I wanted y'all to hear
Okay,
it. Tell
okay.
me what your gut was, what your feeling was, what your takeaway was,
Okay.
what you thought about the content. Just a conversation. It ain't, you know.
So question, so we can name songs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And
Can we name
based on the
features?
conversation,
Yeah, sure.
based on the
Yeah.
I was gonna say, based on the conversation you and I had, I know names of features.
Yeah,
But they
for
weren't
sure.
on the track, so I just kind of had to some of them were.
Yeah.
You can guess. Yeah.
You can guess though. You can guess. Man, my favorite joint.
Yeah.
My favorite Journey.
Journey.
Oh, I didn't expect you to say that.
Yeah,
Why?
me either.
Let me tell you why. Because when I listen to it, I'm like the moody one, right? So I like the moody songs.
Yeah.
That one's a moody song to me. I thought.
I related to the
and
story.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's very like.
The upbeat. Oh.
Yeah,
I related
that's
to the
true.
story. I related to the story. I mean, there was so many though. There was.
I guess my question is overall, give me 30,000 feet.
Yeah.
What's the takeaway from the project as a whole? And then let's talk through it that way. Yeah.
Beat selection was on point.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's a flavor album for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody had. I mean, you have, for the love for the hip hop heads.
Yeah.
You have. You're gonna get love from hip hop heads. You're gonna get love from gospel. You're gonna get love from worship. Like
CCM,
it's all there. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's all inclusive.
Yeah.
Ryan. I guess I called him or whatever, and he was like, I asked him if he had listened to it yet because we had just got it like a day or two ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I started to. I was halfway, and he was like, do you like it? I was like, I do like it, and I'm glad I do because I'd be nervous. Truth, you know what I mean?
Are we being honest today?
I'm gonna say honestly because I was like, thank God. This is my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, man. It's the scope. It's like he said, the beat selection, which I'm surprised because again, like he's not that kind of dude. But Journey is my number one.
Yeah.
Journey is the one.
This is great.
Journey is the
shoot
one.
a video for Journey. Is Journey a single?
Journey sounds like a top 100.
Yeah.
It's like it sounds like a top 100 song. So Journey, I put Set the Bar, which I assume is intro material. King. You want to say the feature on that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I assume Fred.
Yeah.
Fred. It says Fred, so
Yeah.
Fred Hammond.
Yeah.
Crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like Count on You.
Yeah.
Kingdom.
You like the album?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the feel
Yeah.
of the ones I mentioned. Like those are perfect to me.
Yeah.
Perfect. This is tip top
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. I love it, bro. Yeah, I think I'm really excited about it because, you know, this album is 3 years in the making. And it is, even as I listen back to it myself, it feels like that to me.
Okay.
You know, it feels like an album that has, you know, like we've been in the kitchen for a while. You know, feels kind of marinated, you know. And I'm just excited about, one of the things that I think I want to continue to do is, you know, set the bar in a sense, you know, establish a precedent for musicality and what we do. Like, it's, you know, it's almost as if I don't, it's not that I'm not a hip hop artist, but I'm more artist than I am hip hop. And, you know, I don't feel like there's much, like there's a lot of that in Christian hip hop. I feel like Christian hip hop is very much hip hop, you know?
Yeah, that's valid.
And what it does though is it actually makes it a bit of a challenge because I'm doing something that I feel like is outside of what people have acquired a taste for in Christian hip hop.
Yes, I was gonna ask you about
Because what people have acquired a taste for is pretty straightforward. You know, and I think what I do is very nuanced. And
That's so true.
so I'm interested to seeing how my community responds, you know, to this album, to the CHH community. You know, I have a couple different communities, thankfully.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
more
I
communities.
can move in and out of different communities. Because I'm just not sure that if you have an appetite, you know, for God Over Money, or if you have an appetite for Reach Records, that you'll love what I do. And I think a part of that is, it's not that people won't love what I do, it's that they just don't know where to place it in our space. So if you listen to if they'll listen to a Kanye record that's like mine, like if my record was, and if I was a mainstream artist and they listen to my album, a CHH listener listened to my album and I was a mainstream artist, they would love it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, Truth is ahead. Have you heard the truth? He is ahead of, he's an art, he's a creative. He ain't just, they would be able to put language to it. I wouldn't even have to explain it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, Truth, Kanye, you know, Toby, and you know what I'm saying? They would just, I would just be in the conversation if I were a mainstream artist. But because I'm a Christian hip hop artist, the expectation is that I be a Christian hip hop artist. Sonically. And so people don't hear it the same. So they don't know how to listen. That's what I'm learning. Like, they'll listen to a Kanye like it's with an expectation. Because it's Kanye and because it's mainstream. They'll listen to me with a 2004 ear. So they'll listen to me through the grid of Moment of Truth, or listen to me through the grid of, you know, God Over Money or Reach. You know, but listen to Kanye, let Kanye stand in his own space. And I'm just using him as an example, or Toby. They'll just let them stand in their own space.
Right.
So what I'm hoping is that I can push through that, the narrowness that I think kind of exists a little bit in our space. But it's not that the listener is narrow. It's just that they're narrow when they listen to anything that's Christian hip hop.
Yeah, there's an assumption.
It's like, if it's Christian hip hop, it should fit within these parameters. You follow me? And so I think that sonically, musically, artistically, creatively, I'm never going to stop. I'm going to keep doing what I did on the big picture. This is what I did on the big picture. You know, I'm going to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep doing bridges. You know, I'm going to keep doing, you know, intercontinental, you know, sounds. And I'm going to keep exploring, and I'm going to keep, and just hope that our community can catch up. You know, can hear. So the second verse of Set the Bar, I say, I want y'all to listen to me like you listen to Kanye I want you to listen to me and my creativity like you listen to Kanye on the track. Right? What I say? I say, maybe I'm trapped in a prison I don't remember the bar, but the point is,
I can play it.
Hold on, play the second. Just play the second verse. Play the second verse. Go to the second verse. Go to the second verse.
Yeah,
I can be
precise.
that detailed. But
Right.
We'll only be the ones to hear it.
No, they can hear it.
No, they can hear it. That's fine.
okay.
Play that second verse. Play the second.
Set the bar.
Yeah. Go to the middle. Just go to the middle.
Okay. So y'all thought I was playing. Y'all thought I was just saying that. That's okay.
Yeah.
You see. I'm saying I'm grappling with my experience with the CHH world and their relationship to my music, my sound, and the pushing the envelope and it being so unique. I think that they just don't know where to place it. So that's what I'm saying. Just listen to me the way you listen to Kanye. And you'll love it.
Yeah.
I have
Go ahead.
I just want to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
So do you think that like you've seen a difference with generations within Christian hip hop, like in how people are receiving your music, or would you just say like it's more overall?
I think again, so if you look at if I'm doing a one-to-one with the mainstream, right? Who's listening to Kanye? Let's just keep using him as an example, right? Well, I think it's I went to his listening party out here, and I think it's pretty multi-generational.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty intergenerational.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I mean? In other words, if you're just creating awesome music, the generations will buy in. It's not a generational thing. I think it's I don't know how to listen to him. I think that's what it is. I think but again, you only don't know how to listen based on the space that I'm coming out of.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it generationally. So let's say if you like 1K Few, right? If you like 1K Few, will you like the truth too? Well, I would say no, you won't. If you like Lil Durk, but you don't like Kanye. But if you like Lil Durk and you like Kanye, then you'll like 1K Few and you'll like the truth.
Right. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I'm saying that in our genre, we don't have a category for that necessarily.
Right.
We don't have a category for both and to live all in the same space. You follow me? Because our ears are attuned to a certain sound if it's our thing. Everything you just played, super dope. All the videos I just saw, super dope. Very CHH.
Yeah.
Very much what I would expect
as
a CHH listener.
Yeah.
You follow me? So,
I think so I'm gonna ask you a question then.
No, please, shoot.
For the artist that feels that CHH is confining for them, do you understand now why they would want to leave it or break free from it? You know the movement, there was a lot of people trying to break free, and in the midst of breaking free, they kind of broke free from Christ as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you understand, though, the motivation as to why they wanted to break free?
For sure. I think the only yes, I do. Period. I think that the difference in what I'm saying is most people wanted to break free, yes. But it seems like the chains that most people were trying to break it was not because there was a lack of understanding of what they were doing. That's the difference between what I'm saying. I'm saying that what I do is taking time for people to understand. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I think it's Drake. Drake just when his record came out, it didn't get rave reviews. Not this one.
No.
Yeah.
Or the last one.
So he tweeted, y'all will catch up.
Yeah.
Y'all will catch up.
Y'all will catch up. Right. That's how I feel. It's for me, because in his mind, he's like, y'all don't know techno and disco is next.
Yeah.
That's why Beyonce just did a whole record, Renaissance. It's all techno, house, EDM, disco, because that's the next wave. They understand that. They're having the backdoor conversations about where the trends are going.
Right.
You see, so for the consumer's like, this don't sound like the Drake I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And in his mind, he's like, that's okay. Y'all will catch up, and before you know it, we do.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm saying though, but because in Christian music, it's always a sense of like being behind. So for the person who said, I want to be free, I do understand it. I just think that we're different in what we want it to be, what we want to be free from.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I want to be free from the box of. I want to be free from a sonic box.
The style.
Yeah.
So what are you? Yeah. So what are you challenging? Because it's not lyrics. It doesn't sound like.
No.
Song structure.
Yeah. My sound, musicality.
Exactly.
The way that I approach music, is as a musician, as an artist, as a creative. I have very few boxes creatively and artistically, because I'm a musician first.
Yeah.
So at my core, musicality that's my DNA. That's running through my blood, just music in general, right? And so for me, it's if you can connect my roots playing timpanis in high school, and playing xylophones and sitting through music theory courses and studying at Temple University and then going to community college for music. Wow. That's what I did first.
Wow.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you could connect that with my musician playing drums for recording choirs, traveling the nation for 10 years of my life as a drummer, headed out to play on the road with Faith Evans. If you could connect what you hear from me and my music with with my, I'm just trying to give context to listen to me as a creative, as an artist, not just as a rapper. Because if you listen to me as a rapper on this album, you're gonna hate it. Okay, maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. But I'll put it this way.
What do you mean?
I'll put it this way. If you want bars, like if you like, I need
want metaphors.
I want truth. I want 2004 truth with bars. Go.
No, I was like, we've evolved from that though, right? Like we now can listen.
That's what I was trying to get at with that generational question.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think the whole genre is made up of that type of rapper anymore. So I feel like we all have our
but here it is. The problem though is the genre. Okay, I got you. But the problem is this. It's a couple things. If the people who started with me, so which I do have a lot of my fan base started with me. So the people who started with me, there is a percentage of them that do struggle with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you started with me.
Because back in that time, early 2000s,
the
goal of the song was to have the hottest bars.
Yes.
That was the goal.
So if you started with me. Now, if you came later, okay.
I came later.
Okay, you came later.
I came later.
Okay, go. Now, if you came later, you might appreciate it. Now, when'd you come?
2006.
That's still early.
Yeah, that's not late. What are you talking about?
That's still really early.
So I
started in 2004.
We started the radio show in 06.
Yeah, but do you remember? Like,
that was my second album about 06.
Yeah.
So that was still
but
early.
He missed Moment of Truth. And,
Yeah. So if you came like later, like if you came big picture, then you can appreciate who I am today.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you predate big picture, you feel me? Now the other thing I think again is we're talking about appetite also.
Right.
So if you're CHH, to your point, generationally, appetite is for a reach sound, or you're either a reach sound or a God over money sound.
Yeah.
And those are kind of like they cover a lot of the landscape of Christian hip hop.
Okay.
A reach sound covers a lot of the landscape. Look at who you read off, the list you read off, Aaron Coles, that's all in the same space.
Yeah.
You found, or you could go a God over money sound, but they cover a lot of the landscape. Who are the artists? Who's covering the landscape of what I'm doing?
Right. No, I got you.
It's a very lone place.
That makes sense.
I will say, while I was listening, I was wondering if you were gonna try and catch a run like. Like I feel the pressure watching some people. Like you used to focus on that.
Huh?
I used to focus on catching those.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, is he gonna do that, or is this music focused? And I could tell quickly this is about how this sounds.
Yes.
As a whole, versus just trying to get off a hot punchline in. You know what I mean?
Yes. This is about, because for me, music is, my relationship with music is different now. And my relationship with the audience is different. What do I want to accomplish now? Yeah, at some point, I wanted to get them with something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can get them with the track. You can get them with or you can create a space and an environment for people to have an experience.
Yeah.
So when people, literally, I've been very intentional. When people say, I can't wait to hear the album, I say, I can't wait till you experience it.
I love that.
Yeah, I will.
Because that's not what I want to do anymore. I don't want people to just hear the album and throw fire emojis.
Right.
I want people to experience the record and say, whoa.
Yeah.
I want, you feel me? That's the...
Yeah.
When I saw Molly Music the first time, he was 14 years old. I was in Alabama, and Molly was brand new. Obviously, you know, he came out with some skinny plaid pants on, like, you know. I mean, it wasn't even hot. I mean, that wasn't the thing to do back then. Skinny jeans was not a skinny pants. Well, that was not the space.
Yeah.
That man came out with skinny plaid pants on, like a jazz hat, cocked to the side, low fortune do. And this tuba came, like real, I was like, whoop. So the tuba started, he was still behind stage. He 14, nobody know who he is, it ain't even matter. He's doing like grand entrances. The tuba started, that boy came out, I think he did I Hate You. This was before it was hot. He was just, you know, he did I Hate You. I stood in the back of that church and I said, who is this?
Yeah.
But watch this. This is my second question. I kept listening to him and I said, what is this?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard it before.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard. When you heard Molly, you were like, what is this?
This is other.
This is something
Other
else.
things, yeah.
Different.
That's what I'm creating.
Yeah. And
I'm not trying to just be hot. I don't want flames for responses and comments.
Yeah.
I let 4 artists hear this. I'm gonna tell you the exact response they gave me. I don't even know where to put
Categorize
this.
it as.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want people to say, what is this? Because what that tells me is that I'm setting a precedent.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
You follow me? But not just for the sake of it. It's just who I am and what I do.
Yeah.
Right.
But what it tells me is that you get what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm fighting for.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to drop 2 more on you.
Yeah.
Healing Comes.
Yeah.
And
Come on, Rich.
In the Dark.
Ooh. I get better in the dark.
In the dark.
So
explain that, because obviously it's because the parallel to going through a tough time and when Jesus was literally in the dark in the tomb.
Yeah.
Explain what you're going for there.
Yeah. In the dark is basically it's the whole idea. I think the chorus says, you know, I got better in the dark. You know, I got stronger in the dark. I got wiser in the dark. And, you know, the idea is that so many amazing things come out of the darkness.
Yeah.
And one of the analogies that came to my mind, and it's a pretty common analogy, is, you know, the way that pictures are developed or have been developed.
Yeah.
You know, like the pictures are developed in the dark room. You right? And you think about all the things that start in the dark but kind of blossom into something amazing. You know, you put a seed in the dirt, it's in the dark.
Yeah.
Right. What comes from it though is an orange tree or whatever. You know. You know, to your point, I use the analogy of Jesus being, you know, kind of the seed being placed in the ground, you know, and then resurrected unto life. What came out of the darkness? And so for me, man, just like all of us, this album is also, and I'll get to it when I get to the name, but this is just about really all of our journey. That's why I start off with the song Journey. It's really about all of our journey. You know, it's personal, but I'm using my personal journey to really, as a point of reference for people, to trigger people's memories.
Gotcha.
You know, to trigger moments in people's minds of when they were 10 years old and when they were 8 years old and when they, you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay. I also got a question about gray hair.
Oh, I love PJ. Shout out to PJ Moore.
I had thoughts while listening to it that may not be true, but you could have them if you want for a video. All right. So when I was listening to gray hair, and I don't want to feed this to you.
Feed it to me.
Directing.
What you
feed
meant.
me.
Okay. All right.
Feed me rappers or feed me beats.
When I was listening to gray hair, I'm like, obviously it's about your gray hair as you're getting older. However, what I saw, like visually, was all the young people that you inspired over the years
I
to
love
pick up
it.
a pen to start a radio show.
Yeah.
Like that's what you did for me.
Oh.
So the gray hair is representing all the people that you've influenced
Oh.
with your obedience to follow.
Come on.
God.
See,
Yes.
I can't do
Yeah.
this.
You see what I'm saying?
I can't do this.
That's what I saw.
Video in
I
Atlanta?
love that.
Huh?
You shooting a video in Atlanta?
I'm thinking about it. I've actually, it was gonna be a surprise. I'll tell
Okay,
you.
okay,
That's
okay,
who's gonna be in the
okay.
video. Yeah.
So you don't have to use that, but that's what I saw.
I love
'cause-
that,
'cause
though.
that's what it meant to me. Is
I
that there's
love that.
there's so many people on watching right now that when they heard you, it was like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. This is what we doing. I got you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, we did a poll and we said how many people here are fans of the truth, and the poll was 100%.
Wow.
100%.
Insanity.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's go.
Yes.
Go time.
Yes.
New album is coming. Show me the love on the album. Show me the love with the streams.
It's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you.
real.
I'm telling you. It's hard to convey because of course you assume people are going to be positive with a person sitting here. I'm telling you, it's special. It's special.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's special. And
Wow.
I don't know what when you're talking like this, I don't know what song you have in mind the most.
Yeah.
But I really feel like that Journey song encompasses what you're talking about,
Absolutely.
where it feels like if you were the Kanye or the whatever, like you're saying,
Yeah.
people would have been putting this at the top of their Spotify list.
Yes.
It feels
Yeah.
like if you don't, it's
Yes.
only
Yeah.
because you put them in a box.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, that encompasses what
See,
you're talking
you see
about.
what I'm talking about, brother?
Yeah.
I see it.
So the question is, what do we do about that as a
Yeah.
whole? Because
Right.
Excellent.
what is it going to take for BT, for whoever else that has a platform, Joe Budden, whoever, to say,
You gotta respect
I need to
this.
respect this
Yeah.
the same way I respect.
Yeah.
The potential is there because he just had on like PJ Morton, right? PJ
Yeah.
Morton came from our culture, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what does it take to get us past the box?
You know, I don't know. It's some people would say Lecrae got past the box. You know, he got outside of the box. And then I feel like they put him back
They
in.
shoved him back in.
Yeah, they shoved him back in. So I don't know. I think we've talked about this before. There is just, unless you're Toby, which to me, Toby, the benefit of being a Toby and a PJ is that they never had a box to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So the Lecraes of the world, the Truths of the world, the KBs of the world, we intentionally boxed ourselves in, in the beginning.
You built the box.
We built the box.
Right.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not just
That's
your,
what
but
we're not just in this our box.
this is your fault.
Well, here's the thing. I think we built a pretty decent box.
Yeah.
I think
That
we
was
built a
great.
necessary box.
Right. Absolutely.
The problem is, the question I think is, what does it take for the box to expand?
Right. Yeah.
Can we expand? I'm not trying to get out of the box. I'm trying to expand the box.
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the box bigger. And I'm just fighting for the army of people that'll do like this
Keep
with me with
pushing.
the box.
Yeah.
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 Push the box out.
That's
It's because it's easy to just sit in there like, oh,
And get
this is
comfortable.
what it is. This is what it's been. This is what it is. You see what I mean? And then the Tobys and the PJs, they straight because they said we never built the box. We were never in the box.
Yeah.
We fought to stay out the box.
Right.
And therefore I'm okay with the box. Have always been okay with the box. Y'all know me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, but can we
push it?
just a little?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This may be for second half conversation.
Okay.
But isn't part of why they've been able to circumvent the box because they've been more open to working with people outside of the box?
Well, you could make a case for that for Lecrae,
Yeah.
and he's still in the box.
Yeah.
And you can make a case like that for Kirk.
He peaked out though.
So
was
did
able
Kirk.
to-
Yeah,
was
so
able
did
to-
Kirk. But he's still in the box.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm saying,
I was just gonna ask, like, is it the time frame that like it took for Lecrae to kind of get out of that place, versus like a Toby or a PJ Morton?
No, I think because Lecrae, Truth, Ambassador, they all were like the reason
Pillars.
why this thing happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Okay.
the question for you is,
Yeah.
have you changed your stance on that at all?
Which one? Which part?
Working with people outside of the box.
I'm working with PJ Morton.
PJ's a cousin to the box.
He's a cousin. But that's as far as I'm going right now.
Okay. But I think that would help.
Always, yes.
Because you were pretty vocal against working outside the box.
No, that's
for a little while.
That's a generalization. I've always been vocal against working with outside of the box with people whose platform is adversarial.
Enemies of the box.
To the box.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I've never been opposed to, and this is the nuance. I've never been opposed to working with mainstream artists ever in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been, okay, I'm trying to make sense of working with the same person that's working. I'm trying to make sense of doing a song with Lil Nas X.
Against your message.
Because there's no connection whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not just no connection, there's contradiction.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm saying I've always just been a proponent for, how much sense does it make for people who contradict one another?
Right.
Fundamentally, especially if they're agenda driven. So I'm agenda driven. Lil Nas X is agenda driven.
Right.
Our agendas are
not
diametrically
complement.
opposed to one another.
That makes so much sense.
That's who I'm opposed to partnering with.
It makes perfect sense.
But outside of that, I've always been pretty open and flexible. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you can help set the example of how to do that.
Yeah.
Effectively.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people have tried. It's a murky water, and usually when people step out like Lecrae has, they get either vilified by the box itself.
Yeah.
Or they get pushed back in the box by people outside of it. So I think you have a chance to help the next artist see how that should be done.
Yeah.
And
for sure
how you're evaluating who you're going to be working with.
Yeah. Always been wide open though.
That could help. That'll be helpful.
For sure. Yeah.
I got one more question about that.
Yeah, no.
So when you sent it to us, it categorized it in alphabetical order. Have you picked an order for the song?
I sent y'all the list and the order in the email.
Well, maybe I'm glad I didn't see it because I was able to kind of go
just
around.
go through it the way you want to.
Yeah, and
because I have a suggestion,
Yeah.
so I want to see if it matches what.
Oh
you
yeah, check the
decided.
order in the
Okay.
let me know.
Okay.
Cool.
So Journey was number 4 for me.
Number 1.
So that's number 1.
That's the first song.
In my box,
it says 4. That's why.
Yeah, it says okay. Yeah.
So that's a great way to start then.
Yeah, that's the way the album starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't go in any particular order.
Okay.
But I just had a different feel. It was so moody. It was so moody. That's the number one thing. I just got back from a trip from the Dominican, and there was a song. I think it's Inspiration. And when it came on, I was like, my wife and I, we were in the kitchen like, yes,
I feel happy.
This goes back to where we were when we were, kidless in the Dominican, and everything was just like the sun on our face.
Yes, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, and so there was so many times where, and this is what I love about musical artists that are not like confined to making people jump up and down.
Yeah.
I love the fact that in the middle of a track, it can change direction.
For sure.
And you can hear one instrument highlighted over another instrument. And I think that that's amazing. I think that's what gives the album something for everybody to have enjoy.
Like, I've never heard him talk like this. He's never cared about any of these things before. It was so moody.
So let me tell you why.
That's so true.
For 7 years, I worked for 107.9. And all I heard was Little John and trap music, right? That was there when T.I. got his start and everything like that. So for me, my main music consumption, and I wasn't listening to a lot of music before I got to the radio station. I got a radio station when I was 18.
Yeah.
So before that, I was kind of like always just listening to the radio. I didn't really buy albums. The only albums I really bought in bulk were No Limit. And that was because I saw everybody at school with a different color CD, and I was like, well, let me have a green CD in my bag,
His fan is Outkast to Young Jock. That's his window.
Got it.
But that's because in Atlanta, that wasn't what we honored in music.
Yeah.
The radio playlist is we play the top 40.
Yeah.
And that's all you hear walking through the office for 7 years. You don't get a chance to really embrace anything where things make sense to you, right?
Yes.
Now it does.
Yes.
So I can appreciate it.
All right, so the truth is still with us. Man, you've been teasing this for a long time now.
Yeah.
Are you ready to tell us what's going on?
Make the significant announcement.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I am excited about this. It's very much a milestone for me and my life and my career. And that is that as of today, I am changing my name.
Wow.
I told
he
you.
Said it. He said
I told you.
He said it. But there's a verse in one of your songs
Yeah.
that
You
Two of my
highlights
songs.
it.
Yeah, you
See,
dropped
okay.
it. I was like,
only heard
Ryan,
the new
I
one.
think I know what it is, man. It
I-
could just be him talking, but I think I know. I don't know what the name is. I think I know.
Wow.
What is it?
I am changing my name from The Truth as my moniker to my given name,
Yeah.
Emanuel.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
clear.
Okay.
What song was that? Which one?
Wow.
Yeah. It's
one was it?
it's
Exciting.
in Journey, I think.
Yes.
And
It's in
it's Set the Bar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking
Yep.
about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Now this is
Wow.
going to be a process on the DSPs, like the Apple
course.
Music, the titles,
Yeah.
and so I might still show up as The Truth for
Okay.
a little while. As it takes time to turn
Okay.
over. There are logistics involved, but the reason why I'm changing my name is for a couple reasons. Number one, I feel very different than when I first started.
Yeah.
When I first started as The Truth, I felt like, I'll put it this way. It's a better way to put it. Let's draw a contrast. The Truth is the guy who had all the answers. You know what makes sense?
Wow. Yeah.
The Truth was the guy that was really aggressive. The Truth was that man said, "Yeah, I know that guy." The
Songs
Truth
are coming back in my
yeah, it's
mind,
coming back in your mind. The Truth is the guy that was really aggressive, the guy who kind of had all the answers. Emanuel is kind of the guy who has softened a bit, not in conviction necessarily, some convictions as I've evolved, but fundamentally, primarily, I'm still a person of principle and a man of conviction, but I have softened, I have relaxed
Yeah.
a ton.
Yeah.
Emanuel was a lot more nuanced, so I see a lot more gray than black and white. I still see black and white because I think it's necessary. Without it, there's no order in the world.
Yeah.
But I think that there's more gray than I have understood there to be throughout the years.
Right.
Yeah.
Emanuel understands life is complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had it figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Emanuel understands that life is complex, and the complexity of life, and the nuance of life, and the gray of this life, and the complication. I guess I'll just keep it at complex. The complexity of this life, is something that cannot be underestimated or undervalued.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think that was one reason. I feel very different now. I feel less like The Truth in terms of the aggression, in terms of the assertiveness, in terms of the. Emanuel is a lot more diplomatic.
Yeah.
Emanuel is a lot more conversational and less polemic, and
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think that's one reason. The other reason is, and that, it's interesting. I've looked at all the guys who have changed their name. They all were in it for more than 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is, they're all evolving right in front of our eyes. And I'm like, now I get it. Now I understand why Diddy did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I understand why Jay did it. Now I understand why they changed their names, because they felt it's almost biblical in a sense. It's like when you're, he says, it's you are Cephas, but now you are Peter. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
There's a lot of Abram to Abraham. There's a lot of significance
Wow.
in those name changes, and I think that for me, this name change just carries a lot of significance in that I'm just a very different person today than I, was. And so that's part of the reason. Another reason why is because my name means God is with us.
Yes.
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 Why didn't you go with that?
God
in the
is
beginning?
with us. I know, right? I should just stay my name from the
gave
beginning.
you a
Listen,
statement.
for
I think this is more
moment-
interesting.
For this moment, yes.
It's more interesting.
Yeah.
So God is with us. God is with me. God is with you.
It's good.
And I get to tell my story from that vantage point.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
now the story that I tell is less about, what I've figured out. And that's not to say that I'm going to continue to, fight to figure it out. I'm a 5 on the Enneagram. So I'm going to be investigative. I'm going to be critical thinking. I'm going to seek to find conclusions. I want to evaluate. All of those things are still going to continue to be true. However, I think where I'm landing, though, is that, in the ebbs and flows of life, mountain peaks and valleys, through every circumstance, God is with me. Kind of resonates with me more than having the answers and being able to pontificate, philosophical and theological ideas. Although those things are not lost on me now, I think that the bigger thing is God being with me,
and that God is gracious.
So
that's it.
Gracious
through it all.
Speak.
Through it all. Through it all.
So I have a question for you. Is it gonna bother you if people recognize you and they still go, "Oh, that's the truth"?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I expect, just like we call Diddy, Puff. It's that you just never going. It's what those names meant to you in certain seasons of life that makes it hard to shake. Who Puff was to us in the 90s and the 2000s, like that ain't we ain't never gonna stop calling you Puff.
You know
what I'm saying? That's take that. We need that was a part of our you know what I'm saying? So I get that. Who the truth is to people. I get that. But just in terms of how I'm moving forward, you could call me the truth, call me Emanuel, but my preference right now is call me Emanuel.
Okay.
I feel very much like, Emanuel is just kind of one of the guys in a sense, I'm just a brother, and so
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's big, man.
Yeah.
So when did all this, when did it hit you? I gotta do this.
It hit me, I think a couple months ago.
Okay.
As I was working on the project, and I was trying to figure out what the name of the album was going to be. This album done went through 35 names.
Really?
Oh yeah. Wow. And I landed on Emanuel. That's where I landed, and I landed there, just because it took the reason why we went through so many titles is because it took a lot of time for this record to find an identity. We could not find an identity for the album. Like we just were creating. Remember, we were creating in the pandemic. We were creating, and it was just the stuff that you're hearing is what was coming out of us. We were like, this is amazing. What do we call this? It's like, it's like that's what it was. So it was hard for us to kind of pigeonhole or find a way to identify what this was or what this is. And so I think that over the span of time, we went through a bunch of different titles, and then we thought that the album was going to be called Journey. And I was like, oh, that's it. I felt like, that's it. That's the song. We thought it was going to be called Journey. And I think that as I was processing through it more and more, the idea of journey made me think about my life. It made me think about myself. And I said to myself, man, what if we called the album Emanuel? Because I thought about the journey. I thought God's been with me through the journey. So what did we call the album Emanuel? So we started with the album should be called Emanuel. And then from there, I went,
I should be called Emanuel.
I think
So this is a manual by Emmanuel Lambert. Is that what it's going to say?
No, it's going to say by the truth, because that hasn't changed in the DSPs yet.
So after this cycle, then you're going to start seeing this.
You'll see changes. You'll see Emanuel. You'll see changes. Or the truth, and then in parentheses, you'll see Emanuel.
Gotcha.
just because I've been the truth for so long, so I got to be smart.
Make sure you call your favorite restaurant and tell them, because when you go get that special table. And
I'm going to be the truth for places I need to, where I need to leverage the truth. I'm going to be the truth.
So, America, you had a question.
Well, so my thought when you were talking earlier was that this is the perfect timing for what you're talking about, like that expansion of the box, coming out of the pandemic. I feel like the taste, the appetite of a lot of music listeners has grown or changed, and even within myself, I've seen my own taste with CHH really shift, but I'm just curious, if you think that this is the right timing for you and what you're doing because of that.
I think so. Yeah. Here's what I've been saying, and I posted it the other day on Twitter. I am making music for the middle. I am making music for the person who has aged out of a certain sound. Not that it still doesn't sound good to you.
Right.
It's just not what you're playing first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, when you get in your car.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it's not that you'll never play it. It's just that your appetite, to your point, is for something else. That typically happens in that young adult space.
Yeah.
You know, when you kind of grow into young adulthood,
Right,
and then
right.
when you go from young adult to the
Yeah.
you're what, 40, 35, 40, your appetite, it just changes, you know?
Right.
And it's not, I still love what Hovi's doing. I love what, 1K is doing. I love what Aaron is doing. I love what those guys are doing. I'm not the old man on the stoop, like, no. I ain't mad at the young generation. What I'm saying is that, but we do need something for the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you think about it, our churches don't even have a middle.
Yeah.
It's like youth group and then boomers. It's like YZ boomer. You know, our churches struggle with the middle, young adult. We don't have anything for young adults. You know, we don't even have a lot of music for young adults. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I think that this is the perfect time to begin to make, but I have to keep pushing the narrative. This is for you. This is for you. This is for Miracle. I'm making music for Miracle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel like I can go to that show and feel like an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But still, whatever.
Yeah.
You follow me?
60% of the polls said they embraced the new name more so than the last. So
wow. Come on,
That's
60.
Really
Okay. Social media. You changing all your handles?
Yes.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah. But it's a process.
Yeah, it is a process.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to do the True Emanuel. It's the same thing, but I got to do it with the DSPs.
Okay.
It's funny you say that because I can relate to exactly what you just talked about. I used to have a system in my car.
Yeah.
And now when I get a headache, I think about all the times when that didn't bother me. And now when I get a headache, like the slightest thing bothers me.
Yeah.
And when I'm riding down the street and I have my kids in the car and I hear the boom, boom, I just get so irritated. And I'm like, I can't believe that used to be me being the irritating person to somebody else beside me because it's so inconsiderate.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
You
yeah,
go
for
to
sure.
the gas station.
This a grown man.
I am.
I
I turned 40 this year.
You're a grown man, bro. My hand is. That's my hand.
I just see
It was out there.
You should have seen
what
him
I'm
at
saying is
20.
like-
I'm talking about rims on the car.
Yeah.
What?
Rattling.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I
You
believe
have
it.
changed.
Yeah. And now I won't even watch
I know, now he's talking about, I love the moody. Oh, the moodier it is, the
nuance and
better.
the strings. Did you hear the strings on that part?
Did you? The orchestral arrangement was.
Yeah. So I have
Wow.
I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for a mood that's not,
For sure.
loud
Intense.
and yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And-
still gives you
Yep.
that scratches that hip hop itch.
It does. It does.
You know?
Yeah, there's still
And
808s on
speaks
this.
to.
Like,
Oh yeah, now you
still
going?
got
Yeah,
some
still
bass on
something.
it.
Yeah, we going. You know what I mean? But
But I can relate to it.
Yeah.
I can relate to a lot of it. So
Yeah.
that's what feels good about
yeah,
the album. It's like you can just sit there and you can relate.
Yeah.
You can hear the words,
Yeah.
right, and then know it's telling a story.
Yeah.
That might even be similar to your own.
yeah,
might even be similar to
exactly.
your own,
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan.
You accomplished that.
Come on,
I
Miracle.
love it. I love it.
Did I answer your question?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
How has all this how much feedback and creativity or less creative response do you look for from family? Right?
Biological?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my whole family are fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all got the T-shirts, bro.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I just want to know, like,
Oh yeah.
when you make these types of moves and when they're listening,
Oh yeah.
how do they take it
I
all
can do
in?
no wrong. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing about family. You can't
Yeah.
really go wrong.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned that you have a 23-year-old.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So
Oh yeah.
what is the take on music
Oh
in the
yeah.
house?
I let her hear it too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I look to her because she is the young adult I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah. She loves mood music. She's listening to John Bellion. She's listening to,
Okay.
she's listening to the moody,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of stuff. if you just, you know, you just scrolling on TikTok, a lot of the music is it's so much mood music.
We gotta talk about her.
Yeah.
She's
It's so much mood music on TikTok, because that's, to your point, it's a wave. And my daughter fits right with, and so yeah, I let her hear. It's interesting, like when I was working on Vet, when I was working on Vet, my first Vet would not have connected with her, because I did 2 versions of Vet. The version y'all got is the second version. So the first version I did, it took me 2 years to do it. Got to the end of it, sent it to Sony, listened to it. After I sent it, I said, I hate it. And so I scratched it, asked Sony for more money, and then I did a new one. And I did a new one. Thankfully, they were gracious. And I did the new Vet that y'all got, the gray one that y'all got. And that one connected more with my twin, because it's more moody.
So it is.
Well, so I think that that's a great question. I think that and now my 13-year-old, you know, she's actually similar. Interestingly enough, that's why I'm saying this generational thing is weird, because the gap is closing on what they have a taste for, what they have an appetite for, because so many different types of music are accessible.
Right.
To even your 13-year-old now. You see what I mean? It's not like when mom went out and bought an album, and then the teenager went out and bought an album, and they bought 2 different records.
Right.
You know, the teenager went out and bought Drake, and the mom went out and bought, you know, I don't know, Anthony Hamilton. You know.
Right.
You know, but those are they lived in 2 separate worlds. Now you can literally have Anthony Hamilton and Drake on the same playlist. And so what that does is it does close the gap in terms of taste. That's why I'm saying the taste is there. The appetite is there.
Right.
The box is based on the genre.
We've been
not the appetite.
We've been fighting that box for a long time, and it's been getting better. I'll say that. It's been getting better. People are a little bit open. Like when we started Line for Line, that was a hard sell for people, man. They didn't want to even consider that we were even close to mainstream. I'm talking about from even Christians. They were like, Christian hip hop sucks. Like that was the mentality. I remember us, me and our guy, Rick Sincere, walking around handing out CDs, and people are like, "What is this? This Christian hip hop?" On the ground. Like it was just the mentality was it has to be whack. And I feel like over the years that has changed. People like you, Lecrae, everybody has worked together to change the first impression they get when they hear the word. So this is a great time to push it further, because people are open.
And what I want to do is now I want to continue to prop up artists that are doing what I'm doing sonically. That's why I started Mixed Bag some years ago. Because that was really the vision. The vision was to prop up artists that were a mixed bag, that did not fit into any one of the kind of typical boxes.
That makes sense.
And just kind of, they were just musically edgy, you know, refreshing. You know, ooh, what is this?
That is what it is.
What is this?
It's very
you know,
refreshing.
it's refreshing. I'm glad you think so. Thank you.
Okay, so who do you see out there, and it's like,
there's a guy, I won't name him right now though.
Okay.
He's a problem.
So you trying to keep it on the racks? So you working on something else?
He's a problem. Well, you know, I did it with Limo. Just continuing to, you know, I we did the joint record together. You know, we signed him to the agency, and you know, look at him now. So we have already one success story. You know, I think it's a pretty major success story, because he's only going here. That boy is he's out of here right now. And so I think he's one example of this is what it looks like when I saw Limo in I connected with Limo in 2018. I was talking about Limo in 2014.
Wow.
In 2014.
Wow.
Wow.
That's huge.
Hey, listen, y'all. Listen, this stuff it takes time.
Yeah.
You just got to keep pressing. And I kept saying to myself, I was in Africa at the time, and I kept saying to myself, as soon as I get in a position to prop up any of these amazing artists out here, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Okay, but that's your A&R hat.
But my A&R, I wouldn't say that my A&R hat and creative hat are mutually exclusive.
Okay, but I'm just talking about just appreciate artists that there's no chance of you signing or anything. Like who do you just think is doing a good job?
Like I said,
give people props. Like,
you know what? I really do love it. Here's what I love. I love Indie Tribe. Like
Yes.
they
Yeah.
are killing everything. John Keith.
Yeah.
I love what Aaron is doing. I love the space he's occupying. I love Hovi and the marriage of hip hop and worship. You know, that's my
Yes.
lane all day.
Yes.
You know, who else is? I love 1K. 1K's killing it. I love that 1K is getting recognized in different spaces right now.
Yeah.
We just did something at the Stellars together. That was dope. I love what 1K is doing. I think right now, obviously, I love KB. Andy is from a creative perspective, and Andy is one person I could say he's an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is an
Definitely.
artist.
He cares.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He is an artist.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the best times in Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
So the conversation I'm having is very nuanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the best. We haven't been here in a long time.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like everything, it feels like we're getting our identity back. It feels like everybody's kind of sitting comfortably in their space.
Yeah.
You know, there's no struggle or wrestle around who are we, what do we believe, what are we representing. Everybody's just kind of like clear. That's what it feels like. The music feels amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I promise you, like, this ain't just for the mics. Y'all know I'm honest.
Yeah.
I literally feel like this is one of the best times in Christian hip hop in terms of a resurgence. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel really good about a lot of what's out here.
You mentioned Aaron. Are you still talk to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Everything. How did all that work out? How did that wash out?
We had a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. He apologized to the big bro.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
He's on the album.
Where?
He's on Crown.
Is that him?
That's him.
I didn't know that.
He's a beast.
Are you singing?
Aaron's
on here
a
somewhere?
problem,
Are
huh?
you singing on here somewhere?
No.
Do you croon at all in here?
No, I'm not crooning.
Okay. So I swear I heard somebody.
The only melodic thing
I
I'm
heard
doing
you too.
is a gray hair. Look
Okay.
in the
Yeah,
mirror
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah,
So-
we had
so
a great.
can we invite both of y'all here?
Oh,
together?
for sure.
Okay.
That's
No.
my guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. So yeah.
Clear that up.
Yeah. So, you just bringing
That's
clarity
beautiful.
to it.
That's
You know,
beautiful,
he gave me
That's
his
awesome.
perspective on it. We talked about it, and we found common ground, and that's the guy. I'm not.
That's our little brother, man. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it's
y'all
Aaron. I
gotta-
mean,
That's good.
that's my guy. That's yeah.
That's awesome, man. So all right, so this is all positive, man.
Yeah.
I have another question. I might wait till later.
Okay.
Are you open?
No, give it to me now.
I want to ask you how, looking back, what is your opinion now of Ravi?
Oh, for sure.
How do you feel about that now? Were you were you disappointed? Because I loved Ravi.
Yeah.
Loved Ravi.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? Do you feel like, because you had the whole album with him?
Yeah. I toured with him. I traveled with him for 4 years.
Connected to him very strongly.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I just want to get that from you.
Oh, to answer your question about being disappointed, I was not disappointed. Not at all. Again, welcome to Emanuel's world.
Yeah.
And Emanuel's world.
Yeah.
Listen,
Humans.
humans are humans, you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
humans are complex. And, we are, it's beauty and barbed wires.
Yeah.
That's what it means to be human,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow.
It's Romans 7. Those things I, thought I'd never do. I found myself doing,
Yeah.
That's that same guy said, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of Christ Jesus.
Yeah.
So there's a duality, and that's not to excuse in any way or try to provide a pass or seek to justify immoral behavior. That is to literally, if I'm just looking at it for what it is, it helps me to stay sober about who he was. I never thought him to be above anything that I found out about him. And it's not because he did anything to indicate that that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's just that I understand that he's a human.
You have to learn that about everybody.
Yeah,
as a human.
And, you know, a great, so many great leaders walk with clay feet.
Yeah.
You know, when you read back into the life of Martin Luther King, there's a lot of stuff being dug up that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
It doesn't disqualify him in any way from, you know, that stuff he had to answer to God about, obviously, and, you know, answer to his wife at the time. But, you know, doesn't change anything about the impact that he's made or who he's been. And I'm not here to say that impact should, here's what I don't want to say. I don't want for women to take what I'm saying as a casual response to an egregious act against women. So I want you to understand that too, Miracle, that that's not what I'm saying here. I'm not trying to minimize the impact, because I understand, you know, sexual assault in any way or sexual misconduct in any way is difficult. You know, it's hard. It leaves scars that last forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I never want to come off like I'm minimizing what he did. I'm only speaking to the am I disappointed part of it. Right. No, I'm not disappointed. In terms of what he did, that's you know, we can have a conversation around, you know, that's a different conversation I think that we need to have. But in terms of, did it disappoint me? No, not at all. Yeah, I still hold him in the same regard. Yes, I do believe he is spending his eternity with the Lord. I literally had somebody last week say to me, do you think he went to heaven? Everybody's asked me that. Do you think he went to heaven? Did he go to heaven? Do you think he went to heaven? I'm like, yeah.
I think the fear may be, and you got to talk to him closer. Yeah. The fear whenever, because we've dealt with people who have fallen from grace in our lives, and he doesn't have a chance to see the rebound part, right? So we're talking about him, and he's not able to speak for himself anymore. I think the fear is always, was it real? You talked to him. Was it real? Yeah. Or was this
was what real?
His love for Jesus, his preaching, because I learned so much from him. And I think the fear whenever this happens is this person real or are they pretending?
Yeah, no, and I always am baffled by that question, honestly. Because I think I'm gonna start kind of 30,000 feet. Intuitively, you know it's real. There's something in you that knows sincerity when you feel it and when you hear it and when you see it. You know, you know. Now, granted, can you be tricked? Yeah, but it's hard to be tricked for 50 years. You know, it's hard for 40 years of ministry to. So I am a bit baffled by that question when you've watched a person's life really closely. Right. Yeah. I think Robbie, like all of us, had some areas in his life that were unchecked. And that, you know, I know he had to have wrestled with, because I did know him. You know, I know he had to have wrestled with it, but I don't see him as any different than us or any of our other heroes throughout the course of redemptive history, and even American history. You know, we look at, you know, we hate to have to use these examples because they're so cliche, but I think it's fitting to use a David to say, well, was it real? Well, yeah, because, I mean, I'm trying to figure out where, and I think this has to do with our theology too, because I think if your theology tells you that behavioral misconduct is some indication of a lack of genuineness and love for God, y'all can see why that question would arise. Right. But is that what that is? Is it possible for a person to have real life tensions and struggles that and still love God? That's the question. That's the broad question.
That's the big question.
Is there a space for me to have struggles and things that I wrestle with, whatever it might be? You follow me? Yeah. And still love God, or things that I even surrender to at times and still love God.
Yeah.
Is there a category for that? I think that's really what the Christian journey is.
Yeah, and I think that's why your album is so important, because I think for a lot of Christians, they see something like that and they say, that could never be me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That couldn't happen to me.
Yeah.
And then throughout your life, you realize, oh, anything can happen to anybody.
That's
what
I'm saying.
You aren't above anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
That-
right.
You
That's what
aren't
I'm saying.
above anybody. And if you think you are, hold on.
You're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your turn could be right around the corner, you know? And that's because we overestimate our own strength.
Right.
That's
exactly.
so true.
That's the biggest challenge that we have,
So
which
true.
is the which is the root of self-righteousness.
Right.
The root of establishing your standard of righteousness as the standard of righteousness, even above God's. So much so that you become so much so that you are determining a person's eternal fate
Yeah.
based on certain behavioral misconducts.
Yeah.
Like that is really a
Yeah.
lot of self-righteousness.
Yeah.
Like because the first thing I do if I see something like that, I'm like, I go inward.
Yeah.
If I see
Yeah.
failure, I'm like, oh, I know that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let me search my heart.
When I'm looking, listen,
Yeah.
I am not. You know what I'm saying? And the older I get, the more things I can relate to in terms of the things that are egregious that you like. How could they? That 10 years ago, I'd have been with you. I'm like, how could they? And now I'm like, man, I never did it before. But if I understand the trickery of the
nature.
human heart
Yeah.
See how
correctly,
it can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I understand how this
Yeah.
thing is, one day I can be this, another day I can be that. Listen, there are images of El Chapo with his grandkids on his shoulders in a swimming pool with a smile on his face, playing with floaties and playing basketball in the pool.
Yeah.
El Chapo, the same man who is notorious for thousands of people got his 6 grandkids and they on his shoulders, they playing, he throw them in the water, playing basketball, playing with floaties. But what is that?
Yeah.
That is the complexity of the human nature. How can the same man responsible for being notorious for killing thousands love deeply his grandkids, cry over the death of his loved one?
Yeah.
Like, you see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying who Ravi is. I think it's inverted with Ravi.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he was the righteousness of God in Christ. I believe he was passionately pursuing the heart of God. I believe he was sincerely doing ministry, really having a passion and a heart to untangle the knots in people's minds surrounding Christianity.
Yeah.
I believe that all of this was genuine, was real, 100%.
Yeah.
And he had a pocket that he wrestled with over here, a pocket of darkness. Yeah.
This is why this Emanuel change is so important, because this is the conversation that's happening right now. There's a lot of people leaving the faith, a lot of people deconstructing their faith.
Right.
There's a lot of people who are seeing people that they didn't know they idolized, but they idolize fall.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are struggling with, what does this all mean now? Is this real?
Yeah.
And I think moments like this of, let me show you me, because you're honest on this album. We talked a lot about music in the first part, so I want to get real stuff. You were honest on this album. You were transparent. This conversation, I think, can open up people to start asking real questions about their own heart.
Yeah.
Are you being authentic, or are you being the judgy Christian? I got it right, you got it wrong type Christian. I think when God brings that down and shows you who you really are, then you can start building up from there.
Yep. And I think what happens is you find the middle.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a judgy Christian, but neither am I so liberal that it's all good.
You lose all.
Right.
Lose all sense of what's true and what's real and what's good and what's, you see what I'm saying? I think what happens is you go here and then you go all the way over here and then and then God starts to mellow you out and bring you right to the middle. You say, okay, Now I can live in this tension.
Yeah.
This is not an easy tension to live in.
No, it's not.
But it is a necessary one.
That's maturing in Christ.
If you're gonna be, but if you're going to be whole, I think you have to live in attention.
That's big, man. That's good.
Yeah, bro.
Emanuel.
Love y'all.
God with us.
I can change that in my
Trackstarz. Change it in your phone to Emanuel, bro.
Yes,
Yo, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate
Dropping
y'all.
so much knowledge, man.
Y'all are
This is
amazing.
legendary.
Thank you.
This is legendary. Hey, treat this like what we talking about. Hey, if this was Kanye, if this was the Breakfast Club, y'all be spreading this all over the place.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Don't treat it no different.
That's what I'm saying.
Send this everywhere. This is
Listen.
legendary.
Yeah,
All right, anyway. Let's get back into it. You can feel with the Trackstarz.
Love y'all.
Ryan Righteous, Sean
Peace.
Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let go.